the interview with Xiao Qingrong has spread on the internet and caused a sensation. Xiao Qingrong's unique identity and his unique situation now make everyone fully curious about this matter. The 9th World League on the internet has just come to an end. It is just now that all the fans have begun to pay attention to these things. Now, the Mengyu school has started to hit the headlines. In addition to the Mengyu school, Supernet Little Xianxian, the author of Jiang Nanxue, and the author of Dragon City Police also became popular, and their fans never expected that the people they liked turned out to be students of the Mengyu school, a place where internet addicts are supposed to be cured. Xiao Xian is also known as An Xianxian. Now, she is the most popular online idol, with more than 10 million fans. After this incident was exposed, the real family of An Xianxian began to be cursed by netizens. Fans of Jiang Nanxue and Dragon City Police left a lot of comments in the book review area, asking whether this thing is true. After the exposure of Xiao Qingrong's interview, An Xianxian released the first video after this incident, which was recorded in the school. In it, she acknowledged that she was a student of the Mengyu school and expressed her gratitude to the school for the cultivation. The two authors are the same. They published the latest announcement chapters. In addition to announcing their never-before-seen quitting school that is being shown to the public in this manner, they also expressed their love for Mengyu school and respect for the principal. This is a quitting school that has never been seen before and is shown to the public in this way. The students here are the hottest super influencers in the world and very popular novel authors. All these things made everyone pay attention to this school. At the same time, Jiang Mengmeng has determined that the person who won the world championship is his cousin and has secretly told her parents about this. Then Jiang Mengmeng's parents were shocked after they learned the news, and when they thought about the expression on Jiang Haohui's parents' faces, the couple directly notified the old man above. Then, they headed towards the Mengyu school with the old man, hoping to pick up the child. In addition to Jiang Haohui's family, other people have seen the news. This is why they know what their children are doing in this Mengyu school, so they started to go to Mengyu school. They wanted to see their child, and they also wanted to see what this school is like. The Mengyu schools teaching the students according to their aptitude has caused great turbulence on the internet as well as in the education world. A young adult has taken over the entire quitting school. This sounds like a legend, not to mention that he also cultivated so many talented people. Xiao Qingrong has been preparing for this day for a long time. He knows that as long as the Mengyu school is exposed, there will be a lot of so-called parents who will come to the school to take their children away for the sake of their children, but Xiao Qingrong is the principal of these children. It is his responsibility to take care of these children. As long as these children spend one day at Mengyu school, they will always be his students. From Beijing to Mengyong College in Qing'an County, a lot of parents have arrived at the school's gate. No matter what the reason for their arrival is, Xiao Qingrong cannot satisfy them. Standing in this crowd, Jiang Mengmeng watched the children belonging to Mengyu school get out of the car neatly and orderly. Everyone was wearing neat school uniforms. The blue and white school uniforms made them even more youthful. Everyone had smiles on their faces, although some children seemed unhappy after seeing something. Xiao Qingrong had already expected this situation, so after the children got out of the car, the surrounding security guards had already come to protect them. Even if the parents next to them shouted their children's names, they got nothing. To these children, their parents are no longer good parents after turning their backs on them when they needed them the most. Some people have said that the most terrifying thing in the world is that parents do not need to take an exam. You can be a parent whenever you want. All the children were carefully arranged to enter the school. Xiao Qingrong then asked the security guards to invite these so-called parents to the auditorium of their Mengyu school. This auditorium can accommodate more than 10,000 people. All the parents who came to Mengyu school exchanged information about their children, and they were very proud to see their children in the news. Some wanted to visit their child after seeing the news. These parents were being sincere in wanting to see their children, but this kind of sincerity is not good for the children and will hurt many of them. After these parents waited for more than 10 minutes, Xiao Qingrong appeared, still in a straight suit and standing on the stage. At this time, his eyes fell onto the body of a couple, but it complicated the minds of the couple. The woman's eyes turned red. Looking at the son, who is different today, they couldn't help but feel bitter in their hearts for some reason. The man is looking at his son with complex eyes. He never thought that his son, who has been obsessed with the internet, would become so powerful, and he is also a genius. An average child can't write a piece of software and sell it to a foreign company to earn $50 million. As Xiao Qingrong stood on the podium, the voices of these parents gradually calmed down, and their eyes fell on this young man. After reading the news, they already knew that Mengyu School was now this child's school. It's been 3 days since Xiao Qingrong's interview. There has been a very deep discussion on the internet about young people's internet addiction and teaching according to their aptitude. At the same time, several news stories about the killing of students in the quitting schools have been exposed one after another. Looking at the crazy and collapsed parents, everyone who saw the news is a little scared because they have never thought about it before. Children who are sent to internet addiction school for improvement may turn out worse, and they might even die there. When these parents saw the news and after finding out that the others quitting schools had caused the deaths of many students, they were extremely worried. Some parents who were extremely worried for their children came to this school today when they saw the news. Here, they waited for more than 2 days outside, and now that they finally saw that their child is in good health, they were relieved. Parents who were able to get here at such a fast pace were mostly good to their children. After seeing the complete silence in the court, Xiao Qingrong then spoke. H.E.L. Parents, I am honored to be in your presence today. I am Xiao Qingrong, the principal of the Mengyu School. You must have seen the recent news interviews, but I promise that everyone who was sent to the Mengyu School has never suffered any abuse. Our school advocates teaching students according to their aptitude and tapping the strengths of each child to guide their lives. Everyone can ask me anything, but please don't be disorderly. Please raise your hands if you have a question. In the face of thousands of parents, Xiao Qingrong was completely fearless, and the parents did not know at this time that there was a monitor in this auditorium. All their actions would become live broadcasts for the students at the Mengyu School. Every student has gone to the computer room to watch the live broadcast. Even at this time, most of these children care about what their parents think of them. These parents know that the principal is different from an ordinary person, so no one is disobedient. Besides, there are so many teachers and security guards standing next to them that even if they want to do something, they dare not. In the end, the parents raised their hands. Jiang Mengmeng just sat in front of them and raised her hands immediately. This little girl surprised Xiao Qingrong a little because this girl does not look like someone who is old enough to be a parent. She may be a sibling or a relative of one of the students. What question does this girl in a blue shirt have? The first one to raise their hand was Jiang Mengmeng. Jiang Mengmeng stood up, and her eyes fell on the principal in front of her. On the way, they checked the situation of many schools on the network. Compared to other schools like the Mengyu School, the unique teaching of the Mengyu School lets everyone know that any one person can choose a different future here. I am Jiang Haohui's cousin, and I have no problem. The principal has cultivated him very well. I came here with my parents and grandparents to see if Haohui is okay now. As she said this, her eyes became red because she hadn't paid much attention to her cousin before going to college and didn't know much about it. She just thought her cousin had been sent to a strict school, but she didn't expect her uncle and aunt to be so cruel. They had even sent her cousin to quit school. Fortunately, it was the Mengyu School. If it was another school, the outcome of her cousin. Jiang Mengmeng didn't even think about it. In the computer room, Jiang Haohui also saw his cousin Jiang Mengmeng as well as his uncle and aunt sitting next to his cousin and grandpa. But he didn't see his parents. Even Jiang Haohui, who had just won the championship trophy, was a little bit lost. He thought his parents loved his brother more, and they immediately sent him here, even though he just likes to go on the internet a lot. Rong Lele saw Jiang Haohui like this and reached out and patted Jiang Haohui's shoulder. Haohui, everyone should learn to grow up. People like us should know that no one can accompany us forever. Although she also saw her parents in the crowd, Rong Lele never thought about going home or reaching a reconciliation with her parents. The Rong Lele, who had expected family love and his parents' salvation, had already died on that painful night. Rong Lele now lives just for herself and for the Mengyu school. Xiao Qingrong looked at the girl with tears in her eyes, knew that she was telling the truth, and nodded. You should have seen it in the news. He is now both very good and very playful. He just won the 9th World League Championship for Heroes. He should have stayed in the capital for an interview. Of course, we should meet later. You can see him for yourself. Xiao Qingrong generally knew about Jiang Haohui's situation, so Xiao Qingrong was very satisfied when he saw that one of his cousins still cared about him. Well, thank you, Principal. I thank you for your teaching on behalf of Haohui and behalf of our family. Thank you for allowing my brother to pursue his dream. Jiang Mengmeng suddenly bowed toward Xiao Qingrong, bowing so deeply and without hesitation. On the other hand, Jiang Haohui's grandpa also hurriedly wanted to stand up and bow. Jiang Mengmeng's parents supported him from one side. Grandpa Jiang, who was already full of wrinkles, also spoke. Principal, our family all thank you. Starting today, we will give you this child, Haohui, and I ask you to take care of him in the future. After he said that, he led the whole family to bow deeply toward Xiao Qingrong. On the way, the people of the Jiang family figured out what methods the so-called quitting schools used: abuse, electric shock, and corporal punishment. As more and more quitting schools were exposed, they knew how lucky it was for Jiang Haohui to be sent to the Mengyu school. Isn't it just playing on the computer? Isn't it just playing games? As long as the child likes it, go, as long as you live, as long as the child is in good health. This was the thought of everyone in the Jiang family, and Xiao Qingrong, who stood on the podium, had accepted the gratitude of these people. Jiang Haohui, sitting in front of the computer, watched his grandpa, uncle, aunt, and cousin bow to the principal for him, and tears finally couldn't be suppressed. Someone next to him secretly came over and then handed over toilet paper, because these children understand each other's feelings. If their family understood them, how could they be sent to such a place? If they perform better, will they not be sent to a quitting school? Then, next is uncle in the white shirt. What do you want to ask? The person Xiao Qingrong pointed to was a middle-aged man in a white shirt. The man had a fat beer belly. The woman that is beside him has cried to the point where her eyes were red. After the man stood up, his voice was loud. What he said caused everyone to be stunned. Principal, I'm Wang Mingda's father. I want to know, has his internet addiction been cured? That's right, all parents first sent their children to such schools, just for such a result, quit internet addiction and become a normal good children. But in the last few days, they've noticed a lot of things about Mengyu school teachers teaching according to their aptitude. Everyone is not very disgusted with internet addiction. At this moment, someone jumped out to ask this, and of course, it caught everyone's attention. Wang Mingda, who was sitting in the computer room, was also stunned. Then he squeezed the hand that was holding on to the mouse with some bitterness. He was not as talented in the game as Jiang Haohui, and he couldn't win the world championship, nor is he an internet celebrity. He is already happy to be able to study and exercise every day at the Mengyu school. He can also make money by playing games or learning what he wants to learn. This is a joy that he has never had before. This time, when he saw his parents coming, Wang Mingda was happy because he thought that they would accept him and because he now has self-control. In the past, Wang Mingda was crazy and obsessed with games. He couldn't control himself at all. They owned a coal mine, so his family was very rich. After Wang Mingda became obsessed with games, he crazily spent money on the game. He directly poured in the profits made by his father for a month, and then Wang Mingda's father was angry and sent Wang Mingda here. After arriving here, Wang Mingda began to make money with computers and then realized that money is so hard to make now. Dad worked hard to get up early in the morning so that he and his mother could have a good life. He was very whimsical. It has been almost a year since Wang Mingda was sent over, and he would call his family every month, but Wang Mingda never asked for his parents to pick him up. He only needs to speak and follow the instructions of his parents. He already knew that he was wrong and knew the consequences of his intemperance, but he didn't think he had an internet addiction anymore. With the help of his teachers and classmates, he could already control himself. Xiao Qingrong is not surprised there will be parents who will have such a problem, but he is still very calm and seriously looking at this fat man. Mr. Wang, I don't know what kind of answer you want, but in the Mengyu school, there is no such thing as internet addiction. The so-called internet addiction is caused by not properly adjusting the time spent surfing the internet. Originally, there was no self-control, so the dual teaching of parents and teachers was needed. At Mengyu school, we have computer classes every day and also have children's playtime and working hours. The internet is not a tiger, so people don't need to stay away, and someone can't be fully disconnected from the internet. Even if they leave here, they will not be disconnected from the internet. The purpose of the Mengyu school is not to make them quit the internet but to teach them self-control. Wang Mingda's father listened to Xiao Qingrong's words. His face was originally serious, but after listening to Xiao Qingrong's words, he laughed. Principal, I understand what you mean. I came here this time to look at the child, and I want to thank you. This child has been here for 9 months now. He used to go online, skip classes, and even have no bottom line. I didn't know how to play the game with my child, so I just came up with this method and sent him to you, not to keep him off the internet but to let him learn to control himself. For the past 9 months, through each call, I have heard that he has changed. He will tell me not to work so hard, to pay attention to my body, and not to cause his mother to always worry about me. In the past, he has never done that, but after coming here, he has changed, and I believe that it is because of this school. This time, when I saw the Mengyu school in the news, I hurried here. I am also taking this opportunity to thank the school for teaching my son, so I plan to donate $2 million to the school. I hope that more children can receive a good education at Mengyu school. Although this is not much money, I still hope you can take care of him for me. The outcome surprised everyone. Looking at the smiling fat man, they also never expected that things would develop this way. W.N.G. Mingda looked at his father in the video blankly and was stunned. Has his father changed this much in the past few months? Not only did he accept him going on the internet, but he also donated $2 million to the school for him. Xiao Qingrong looked at the fat father and laughed, showing his sincere smile for the first time because what he hoped was to allow these parents to accept all the children. Now that they have chosen to bring their children into this world, the good and bad of this child should have been accepted. Any child is a blank piece of paper when the child is born, and the parents draw the first stroke on it. Of course, there is no problem. As for the issue of donations, we can discuss it later, but as the principal, I can guarantee that any child studying at our Mengyu school will have a bright future. The so-called schools are teaching only the basics, but we, at the Mengyu school, teach according to their aptitude. The main thing we do is educate these children. I hope that these children can have a better future. I also call on all parents present to stop judging the children's disadvantages and help dig out the children's excellence from these disadvantages. As soon as Xiao Qingrong's words came to an end, the parents present applauded spontaneously. This time they came over. Most of them wanted to see how their children are now. Through the propaganda of the Mengyu school, everyone knows that the Mengyu school is not like those schools that use electric shocks but that it teaches students according to their aptitude, finds the best in their children, and develops them. This is what a teacher should do. This parent in a purple skirt, what question do you have? After a round of applause, Xiao Qingrong continued to name, this time a parent wearing a purple skirt. She should be the mother of a student. After being named at this time, she stood up from her position. I am Cui Tianlang's mother. I just read the news on the internet and wanted to come and see if Tianlang was okay. I am afraid he was abused. This is the heart of a mother, even if these parents ruthlessly send their children to the place to quit internet addiction, but in fact, many mothers are unable to let go of their children. This time, what Cui Tianlang's mother said was also what many mothers wanted to say. Many quitting schools have been exposed on the internet. There are endless abuses, beatings, electric shocks, and various ways of punishing children. Why wouldn't these mothers be afraid? And all of this comes from the emergence of the Mengyu school. Mengyu school told everyone the facts that the quitting schools should be operated in another way. This parent, you can rest assured that it is impossible for such abuse and beating to occur at our Mengyu school. You will also see the health and well-being of your children. To all parents, please be assured. The questioning session lasted for about an hour and a half, after which Xiao Qingrong arranged to take these parents to find their children, and it was almost time for the others to go. The couple, who were a little disturbed, came to Xiao Qingrong slowly. In front of him, he should be a parent, but at this time, he was like a child who had done something wrong. Standing in front of Xiao Qingrong, he was uneasy. For a moment, he didn't know what to say. Xiao Qingrong also saw this couple before entering the field, the father and mother of this body. Xiao Qingrong has always had bad luck in family relationships. He also asked 618 about this body. This body should have become the greatest hacker of this century, but his parents sent him to Mengyu school. After suffering from torture, he begged his parents many times but found no results, and he eventually died in the Mengyu school. Because of this, Xiao Qingrong didn't want to have any relationship with the couple. They couldn't educate their children, so they sent their children to such a school. Such parents are not worthy of Xiao Qingrong's respect. Qingrong. For a long time, Xiao Qingrong's mother shouted Xiao Qingrong's name a little uneasily. At this time, her eyes were red, she looked as if she had grown older. She felt that her son had become different. Seeing him talk on the podium, Xiao Qingrong's mother knew that this child was no longer dependent on her. Do you have anything to say? Xiao Qingrong was indifferent, looking at the couple calmly. Thinking of the couple's annual phone call for the past 3 years, he felt a little ridiculous. At this time, what is the point of sympathy? The man on the side looked at Xiao Qingrong's indifference toward his wife, knew that his son had separated from them, and sighed. Qingrong, your mom and I just saw the news on the internet, so we came to see you. In the past 3 years, we didn't deliberately refuse to pick you up, and I didn't expect you to be so smart. Principal of Mengyu School, Dad is proud of you. He tried hard to get closer to his son, but he didn't know that Xiao Qingrong looked down on him. Xiao Qingrong glanced at the man, thinking of how he looked after they had a second child. I don't need you to be proud of me. I got everything for myself. In the past 3 years, you have only seen me once and made 3 phone calls. You say that you miss me, but do you believe in yourself? He asked ruthlessly, giving the couple an indescribable sense of emptiness. They bowed their heads in front of their son and didn't know what to say. Xiao Qingrong understands that the couple is bowing their heads in front of him because he is now the president of the Mengyu school and has a lot of money and even rights. If he were just an ordinary child, then the couple would still try to give him orders. Humans are such amazing creatures. Selfishness is engraved in the bones, even if it is in the relationships between relatives. When the position is not equal, the people in the lower position can't help lowering their heads. The couple did not speak for a long time, but Xiao Qingrong spoke again. If nothing is going on in the future, I hope you will not come to see me again. Your upbringing was grace. After you are 50 years old, I will give you 5,000 yuan a month to repay you. As for the rest, there will be no more. I know you have another boy. I hope this child, you earnestly educate, don't wait for him to grow up and send him to a quitting school. He looked at the couple ironically, then got up and left, leaving the couple behind him to look at him with complex eyes, but he didn't look back. The 2 days of Mengyu school were as lively as ever, and many parents came to see their children. Some asked their children to leave, and others were very satisfied with watching the children. The principal, Xiao Qingrong, was also very busy. When all parents were officially sent away, the school received a donation of 20 million yuan from the parents, which proves that these parents were grateful to Xiao Qingrong. Of course, some children are very unhappy. In Xiao Qingrong's office, Yang Fan, Tang Jiayu, Qiyu, and Rong Lele met their parents, whom they had not seen in a long time. Unfortunately, they are already adults. Even if their parents want to do something, if they want to take them away, it is impossible. Drink, I know you are unhappy. After drinking, everything will start again. Xiao Qingrong picked up a glass of white wine, tasted it carefully, and filled 5 cups to the brim. The other 4 people sat expressionlessly. The next second, Rong Lele picked up a cup and poured it into her mouth, then made a coughing sound. Cough, cough, cough. Seeing her blush all of a sudden, the other 3 laughed, then picked up white wine and drank it. Compared to other happy children, these 4 people do not need so-called parents. In the years of being oppressed at the Mengyu school and now enjoying the past 3 years, these 4 have learned to be led by Xiao Qingrong. They don't care about other people at all. They don't even care about their parents anymore. Where are their parents when they are suffering? Principal, they came here today and said they would take me home. Haha. They just said they would take me home. Rong Lele opened her eyes with an ironic smile. Among these people, she was the most injured, and somehow, she can stay sane. 5 years ago, I told them to take me home. They didn't want to. Now that they know I'm successful, they want to take me home, but I won't go with them. I'm already an adult and don't need my parents. Huh, Principal, you know what? I told them that the night they left 5 years ago, they were gone, and I was taken away by those beasts. I also stated that I would never, ever be a mother because I detest it. Why is it that the person who has gone through these things is me? When I punched my father in front of my mother, I declared that I despise them and will never forgive them. Rong Lele, whose tears were falling, caused her wounds to open once again. She is like a hedgehog who lost all its spikes. This was the first time Rong Lele had seen her parents in 5 years. The couple said they would take Rong Lele to leave, but what would happen after they left? In this place, Rong Lele once lost everything, but now she's experiencing a better life, and she saw her parents again. Since the incident that happened, every time Rong Lele thought of her parents, she kept thinking about that horrible night. I have been hiding something from everyone. At that time, if corporal punishment could not be completed, they would be punished by Teacher Fong. I did not complete it at the time, but I was not punished. It was because I had a relationship with her. Suddenly, the person who spoke was Tang Jiayu. He has a handsome face. Now that he is getting older, there is a kind of manliness in his handsome face. He has the face that many girls like. Yang Fan and Qiyu all looked at each other. Both of them remembered the so-called Teacher Fong, who was a woman in her 40s. Don't look at her as a woman, she had abused many students and many students are afraid of Teacher Fong, but the 2 did not expect such a thing to happen to Tang Jiayu. Since that happened, I've started to hate girls. People like me, if I leave school, I don't know where I should go. While talking, Tang Jiayu took another sip of wine. This matter was hidden in his heart for many years. At this time, he was finally able to say it. He would not be laughed at or disgusted. He had red eyes but looked at everyone with a smile. Prince.I.P.al. I won't go anywhere in the future, and I will follow you. You saved me, I will listen to you all my life. As said at the beginning, Tang Jiayu is a person who will not regret his decisions once they are made. Xiao Qingrong toasts him, and the two drink liquor together. He understood the pain of these children, but some of the pain could only be carried by one person. They had been tortured for countless nights, and this pain cannot be forgotten. Yang Fan and Qiyu also said a few words, and then they started to drink and eat together. It seemed that they wanted to vent everything. After the four children were drunk, Xiao Qingrong let people send them away. In the office, a person stayed in this room full of wine, took out a cigarette, lit it, and smoked. 618 is looking at its host and does not know why it suddenly feels a bit sad. Host, are you sorry for those children? It opened its mouth carefully but did not expect to be answered. Xiao Qingrong, leaning on the table, raised his lips and spit out a ring of smoke. No, I'm not sad. In 618, human beings are very strong and stubborn, just like Lele. She suffered that kind of pain, but she can still face it all in a new mood. I'm not sad for her. Instead, I am happy for her because she finally got rid of the pain she shouldn't have had. 618 couldn't understand its host's words. Humans are weak and soft in their eyes. Otherwise, it would not be able to receive these tasks and then have the host help it complete them. In the eyes of 618, only Xiao Qingrong is a human, which it can't understand. It feels that its host is very powerful. Although sometimes it feels that its host is lonely. Host, I will always be with you, anytime. I didn't know why it said such a thing. After 618 said that, it felt a little strange, but the words were already spoken, and it couldn't take them back. After hearing this, Xiao Qingrong laughed, leaned back, and looked up at the ceiling. 618, then we will agree that no matter what I become, you must stay with me, okay? For the first time, it saw that my host was so soft, so gentle, and expectant, that 618 quickly responded. Okay, host, no matter what you become, I will stay with you. I promise. It sounded like a little joy, but Xiao Qingrong slowly lifted his smile. The cigarette in his hand suddenly burned his finger, which made Xiao Qingrong throw the cigarette in his hand into the ashtray and glance at the place where it was burnt. Host, you are burned. Hurry up and treat the wound. When 618 saw that its host was injured, it was nervous. Xiao Qingrong looked at his finger for a long time and then heeded 618's words to deal with the scald. In the school, these children made a mobile game together. The adversarial mobile game The King's Descent has entered the beta period, and there are a lot of students in the school, so the beta players are the students of the Mengyu school. After a month of internal testing, this mobile game is ready. Officially launched. For this mobile game, Xiao Qingrong held a huge trial for the students and led all the students of the Mengyu Club to participate in this trial, and the media was even more excited. When they heard that this game was made by students, they were shocked. Xiao Qingrong once again proved the magic of this school with the excellence of the students in the Mengyu school, and The King's Descent swept the country at a crazy speed, with 400 million downloads in a month. The Mengyu school once again became famous in an alternative way.